Look who's back! This bitch! Hi you guys, it's Kelsey. Welcome back to my channel. So, I first of all wanted to apologize. I know I haven't posted anything in like so long and I'm so terribly sorry. As you guys know, life just, it gets in the way. It's super stressful, crazy hard. You know it all, and that's why I haven't posted in a really long time. And I'm also like, I don't know, I'm so scared because I feel like the videos that I'm going to be uploading, they're kind of boring, and I'm just so afraid that y'all aren't going to be interested in them. But I'm sticking to my guns and I'm going to still upload them because I want to talk to you guys about my experience at school so that anybody else who was kind of confused and really didn't know like what to expect when going to Montclair for their fashion program, like you kind of see a little bit more about the program and stuff, and about like school and like how much stress I'm under and yada yada yada. I want to be like your big sister because I'm an only child. So like, I'll be your sister, bitch. If you guys can't already tell by the title, I am going to be talking to you guys about another semester at Montclair, being a part of their fashion studies program. I have been there for the past 2 years, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my junior year fall semester. So let me just hop right into it. I ended up taking 5 classes this semester, and actually, even though technically I say that I'm a junior, my Canvas, whatever, is keeping track of all the credits that I have. I think I have so many right now that I'm classified as a senior, so that's like really scary and freaky outy. And I could technically graduate literally like next semester, my fall semester of my senior year, which is like kind of freaking me out, but I think I'm gonna like, I'd rather like take the time to pick up my grades and like maybe fuck around and get another minor. Who knows, right? Like, let's just spend it all on a mother freaking paper. Okay, anyway, so like I said, I took 5 classes this semester. The first one that I'm going to talk to you guys about today is going to be Process and Media 3. So I've already talked about Process and Media 1 and Process and Media 2 in my other videos. Honestly, it's all a blur right now, so if you need to, you can watch the other ones. Process and Media 3. This class is a requirement being a part of the fashion studies program. So yes, I did have to take this class specifically. As far as what goes on in Process and Media 3, it's actually, I don't want to call it a video editing class because it's not. The media that you are using is videos and editing softwares, and yeah, so when you're in this class, they're really like stressing how to create something through visual art almost, whether if it's, you know, like animations, rotoscoping, stop motion. We talked a little bit about performance art and stuff. I will say that because of my background here on YouTube, like I've been using the Premiere program for like that's what I use when I edit my videos. So for me, I was like so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm gonna learn so much more about how to edit videos on Premiere. And I did learn a little bit, but I think like because I knew all the basics, it was easy for me to kind of make my projects and stuff. But if you don't know like video editing programs, it might be a little bit more difficult for you. Also, like this class, it takes a lot of time because you're gonna have to, you know, make videos, and then you're gonna have to edit videos, and if your professor doesn't like what you just made, then you have to go out and reshoot, or you have to come up with a new idea, and it's very time consuming. Like my professor, she really wanted us to get out of like our regular headspace and like really like reach for the stars when it came to like the ideas that we had. And unfortunately, like even though I am, I would say, very a creative individual, when it comes to my art, I actually like it a little bit realistic. Like when I paint and when I draw and when I do this, it's like realistic but with like my kind of touch. And so it was really hard for me to kind of get out of this headspace that like I've been in all my life, and it was like we kind of didn't see eye to eye at times. So like this class, it wasn't my cup of tea, but I definitely did learn a lot, and you kind of realize how much work goes into all these like animated films, and I give everybody in that industry so much credit because it's very extremely difficult. I don't know, wasn't my favorite class, but it also like wasn't the worst class that I've taken. Again, it was a requirement, so there was really no way of getting out of it. Next class I want to talk to you guys about is accounting. So I took an accounting class, which is literally so hard for me to be like, I took that, but it was recommended to me by a bunch of people who said, like, if you want to go into business for yourself, like, you really need to take an accounting class, and I'm so glad that I did. I had an amazing professor. I loved her so much. She was very entertaining at 8 o'clock in the morning. She kept us going. She was super funny, and I learned a lot. can I tell you what I learned now a couple months later? You know, like I can tell you that accounting is the language of business. It's how you're going to tell a story about a business through numbers. And that we ended up taking, you know, we took a look at a lot of financial statements. We talked about managerial accounting as well as the other type of accounting that there is. I don't remember it. But it was like a really interesting class, and I think anyone who wants to go into business for themselves, or if you're just more interested and you like math, numbers, we didn't do a lot of math, but there was some involved. But if you like that kind of stuff, maybe try taking an accounting class. I liked my professor. I thought she did a great job. For fashion studies, it would cancel out an elective for me, and then because I'm also a business minor, it canceled out that like requirement as well for one of those courses. So that's why I took accounting. Next class that I ended up taking, I'm going to talk to you guys about, is dress and fashion history, or whatever it's called. So there's 2 sections to this class. There's pre-1800s and then there's post-1800s. You have to take them in chronological order. So this semester, my fall semester of junior year, I ended up taking it, and it's just like any other art history class, except it's more focused on the fashion during the time periods that you're going to be talking about. Super fast-paced class, extremely note heavy. I would recommend reading your textbook if you have the time, because I noticed that I did very well when I read my textbook in the beginning of the semester, and I stopped reading and my grades kind of suffered at the end, which is unfortunate, but hey, like this semester was hell. This was like one of my worst semesters ever. I didn't know how I was going to make it through. There was just so much being thrown at me. It was kind of just like, well, whatever. If you guys have listened to my other video where I talk about my other art history class that I took, this one, like I said, it's more focused on fashion, but I think that the reason why it's so much harder is because in the other art history classes, I keep on spitting, it's gross, I'm so sorry. But in like the other art history classes, you're learning about painting, sculptures, whatever. It's like one painting, and then you need to know the artist, the year, time period, the medium, like about it and stuff like that. So that's like really hard, right? But now in the fashion art history class, now let's say we're talking about this cardigan, right? You need to know what it's called, you need to know what it's made out of, you need to know the time period that it's from, and you need to know so much more about it, right? And then on top of that, you need to know specifics for just about everything that like someone's wearing. So right now, like I'm wearing this, I need to know what this is called, what it's made out of, blah 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 blah, the period, and then like you need to know everything in my outfit and then explain it and how I know, and like it's just, it was so difficult. At one point I had 3 tests throughout the day, and I was just like, yo, I'll be happy if I get like a 60 or a 70 on all of these, because I know that I'm not going to do great, because it was just like really, it was so stressful last semester. Like I'm still like, I'm still shooketh by it. If you guys can't already tell, that was a major requirement being a part of the fashion studies program. You have to take that class. You're gonna have to take it, and it's gonna suck, but you're gonna learn a lot. And I think the one like major thing that we all took away from the class was that how fashion works in cycles. It's literally like one big circle. How you're gonna start off, like right now we're gonna have high-waisted, eventually it's gonna be back at low-waisted, and then it's gonna be back at high-rise. Like everything is a circle. Everyone pulls inspiration from previous designs and other cultures and this and that. So I don't know, that part was interesting, but like it was so much and it was so stressful. I was like, oh, I'm over this already, you know? Like, if you can't already tell, which was crazy, I struggle more learning about the thing that I want to compared to my general education requirements. Those I did so much better in. Now that I'm talking and learning about fashion and stuff, it's so much harder. And it's making me very concerned, because I'm like, what the am I doing? Oh my god. Okay, anyway, moving on. All right, so the next class I'm going to talk to you guys about is fashion branding. Oh my gosh. Fashion branding, one of the hardest classes that I have taken this, like my everything. One of the hardest classes. So I think, like, I'll explain what we talked about. So with branding, you learn about like everything. So you first learn about what branding is. You're talking about like the personality of a store, a company, etc. We just look, guys, I can't even remember because we learned so much in this class. But like, I think what was very difficult for me, like I said, on one day I had 3 classes in one day, and they were all like back to back to back, and it was very hard to kind of like keep up with it. And so when I'm learning about 2 things in the morning, and then I have to learn about 1 thing in the afternoon, and then it's kind of just like, I don't know, it was just so much. And all my quizzes and tests that I had to take, you had to attain literally everything that you talked about in order to like get a good grade. If I studied more, I probably could have gotten better grades, but it was just like, to me, it was so difficult. This is a class that I would recommend like putting time and effort into if you're someone who wants to start your own business, because it's a really good class. It's super stressful, and your quizzes and your tests are going to be so hard, but it's a good class. So the reason why I'm saying it's a good class is because, so we had like a group project. We split up into groups, right? And so the one big final project that we had to do with our groups, which we had continuously worked on throughout the semester, it was a branding project. So we had to create a t-shirt basically and figure out how to brand it. So it kind of, we went through the steps and the stages of what it's actually like to start a company. We ended up starting off with where we're gonna position our company on like a positioning map and stuff. So and then you have to do like your competitors' research, and like what's going to make you different on this map compared to all your other competitors and stuff, and like why you fit. And then you need to, like brand the t-shirt, and it's not only the branding of the t-shirt, right? So you come up with this design, but you need to know what material it's made out of, how much it's going to cost you. You need to know what your hang tags are going to look like, what materials you're going to be using. If you want to be sustainable, eco-friendly, if you want to have fair trade involved in your company, if you're going to be involved in charitable work like philanthropy. For someone like myself, you might think you have an idea of everything you need to know about like starting a business or starting a brand, right? But it really opens up your eyes, because chances are you might think you know, but you have to figure out how to implement that. And I think that's what you like learn as well, like how you're going, not necessarily step by step on how you're going to implement something, but an idea of how you want to implement something. I'm excited because once I really sit down and figure out kind of where I want to go with the company I want to start, like this is definitely what I can use to figure some things out, because it's it. And it's pretty cool, super stressful, very hard. And I'm gonna say that like for around like 70% of the time, me and my group, we ended up getting bad grades on the individual assignments, like because it was done in increments throughout the semester. So we wouldn't get the greatest grades in these things because we would need to fix so much stuff, or we didn't add things and whatever. And then finally at the end, you just present this big presentation on your t-shirt and the company that you're starting. And yeah, it was just like, it's pretty fascinating, but also, like I said, extremely difficult, very stress inducing. So the next class that I'm going to talk to you guys about, and the final class that I took this semester, was fashion illustration. Oh my gosh, that was literally one of my favorite classes that I have taken at Montclair so far. I know, and I had a great professor too. I think like, I loved my Spanish professor, don't get me wrong, but it's like totally different, right? Like she was teaching me Spanish and she was just a sweetheart, but like this professor, for what I want to do, just so eye-opening and amazing. I was just like, I was so happy I was in this class. I found out that she was teaching it and I was like, sign me up, because I was just like, oh, I was so excited. Fashion illustration, if you guys don't know, it's basically like you're drawing the figures that like the clothes that are going on to like croquis and stuff like that. Anything that you see like an illustration that's like fashion related, it's fashion illustration. I feel like that's a terrible explanation and I'm so sorry, but I'm trying to speed this up because this is literally taking 5 ever. But anyway, so in the class we first started off by learning how to draw croquis, how to draw them fast. We were on like 5-minute intervals figuring out how to draw like the figures. We had like live models come in who would pose pose for us and stuff, which was pretty interesting. So yeah, so that we started off with, and then we figured out, like, we learned how to use the markers and really how to like draw clothes. So as I said, it's a drawing class, and if you guys aren't necessarily, I don't want to say if you can't draw, but like if you don't have like some sort of like artistic kind of bone in your body, this might not be the best class for you, because I think it does help if you know how to draw. You don't have to know how to draw fashion figures, but you kind of do need to know how to draw semi, because it's just like, it's going to be beneficial to you. Like, your grades probably won't be as good if you don't know how to draw. But if you just want to go for like the learning experience and you don't care about the grade that you get, then definitely take the class, because it's like really good. And I think as far as like learning about the industry and stuff, the professor that I had, I don't know if y'all will have her as well, but she really like talk to us about like industry standards and like what we need to do to improve, and she just shot straight with us. And like, yeah, it was rough at times, because she'd be like, no, I really don't like that, and then you'd have to fix it, but like, she's right, she knew what she was talking about. And this class was just like, oh my god, I love this class so much. So I kind of wanted to show you guys a couple of pieces that I ended up making. So this is my portfolio. I only have 3 pieces to show you, because even though like we had like a lot of class time and our projects were due weekly, my portfolio, it's based off of like swimwear, because that's the industry that I want to get into and stuff. So I only have like, well, one of the pieces I don't, it's clothes, but I'm gonna focus more on like swimsuits and stuff. So yeah, so this was one of, oh my god, I don't even know how to angle this for you guys to get like a picture, a good view of my project. But this was one of the first like mini collections that I had come up with, and it was, I'm sorry, I don't want to put my face in the frame, but like, I don't know how I'm gonna talk to you guys about this if I'm like back here, you can barely hear me. So but this collection, it was based off of like silhouettes that fashion designers have made. So mine was off of like Oscar de la Renta, one of his collections, but I switched up the colorways and stuff. And that's honestly like, this was one of the first projects that I had done where I was like, okay, like, I'm so happy with how everything turned out, and I'm just like, I was really proud of that first project, that like, I was like, okay, like, it's not half bad, it could be like 10 times worse. And that's like one of my favorites. So yeah, so this is the next one that I want to show you guys. So with our collections, after like during midterms and stuff, what we had to do was we had to come up with a mood board for our collection. We had to give it a title. So mine was Blue Sand. And then after coming up with that, then you have to obviously illustrate and draw your stuff. So this was my collection. I was like super proud of this too. This took me a really long time, and I'm like so happy with the way that it turned out. Okay, and then this is one of my other collections that I made. So the Blue Sand one was my midterm, and this one was my final. So as you guys can see, we had to actually end up going to a store, and we had to get swatches for our collections. This is my mood board, and then also this is the collection that I came up with and stuff. So yeah, as far as like she said, when it comes to making your portfolio with your illustrations, it's super important that you have a mood board. On your mood board, you have your inspiration pictures as well as swatches, so that the person who's looking at the portfolio, they know that you understand fabrics and the construction of garments, or anything in general, so that they make sense, and that you're not just like phony baloney, hullabalooly, like just coming up with whatever you want. What did I even say just now? But so you need your mood board with all of those things, as well as a title, and then you also need your illustrations. So I feel like in other illustration classes, at least like the ones that I had seen in high school, they really stressed the idea of like backgrounds and stuff, which I think that you can definitely add if you can execute it well. Yeah, and I guess just like make sure that your figures, they're not like floating in the air. I know that in some of mine they kind of are, but like put shadows under their feet and stuff. So yeah, that was just like I said, one of my favorite classes that I've taken, and I learned so much. It was ridiculous, and I'm so happy that I had her as my professor. So I think that's really all I have to talk to you guys about my fall semester junior year at Montclair. I don't think I've like learned anything that like could be helpful to y'all. I guess I want to end off the video by saying that, like, for me, last semester was one of my hardest semesters, and I really did not know how I was going to make it through. It was so stressful, anxiety, like, ridden, and very just, like, it was a lot for me. So I guess my thing that I want to tell you guys that I wish someone would have told me, like, even though you hear it all the time, but I don't know, maybe it's just like the big sister in me just really wants to say that as hard as it's gonna be, just know that you can make it through it. You might not see it now, and it's gonna be like super uber difficult for you to realize, but you're gonna get through it. I promise you. It's like, it's just, don't think about the future. Like, don't think about it 10 years in the future, which is what I do, and it's just like the worst idea ever. Take things as they come along, one step at a time, as Jordan Sparks says, okay? Just take it day by day, and I'm hoping that that helps you a little bit. And if you need other help, like, please go out, reach out to somebody, and get the help that you need, because college and life and everything in between, school, etc., your personal life, they're all like, everything, as much as like life might be okay, right? They all like can give you stress, and they all can give you like some sort of like, oh, you know? So just like make sure that you're taking care of yourself, bitch, because you're super important as well. Alrighty? So that's all that I'm going to say for this video. It's extremely long. I'm so sorry because I don't shut the up. I'm so happy if you guys made it through, because this was a long ass video, and I'm so sorry, but I hope that it was helpful to any of you guys who really didn't know about the program and stuff. I can confidently say that like last semester I was definitely like, okay, like I'm finally in school and I'm finally learning about the things that I need to, as much as like, you know, as long as it took, it finally happened. So yeah, but that's it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!